What is up, you guys? It's the Fallout What if you're here, and today I'm doing let's just say this is it's a funny what if that it's not funny, but it's a what if that me and my friend Nightshade was talking about after the live stream, and I have the Darth Vader one. I'm gonna be editing that after I do this after I'm done with this. But it's basically what if Deku was trained by Stain? What if he became the villain killer? You see, after a while, that Izuku, when Izuku not died, when Izuku got in trouble and never talked to anybody else, All Might didn't come to his rescue that day. I mean, he did, but in the end, All Might just told him that he should be careful next time. He needs to become strong, if anything, but he needs to train somebody right now. And Izuku says, "So why don't you help me out?" All Might says that, "I don't know. I kind of lost faith in. I lost faith in the fact that you could possibly become a hero. I don't know whether you can become a hero. You showed admiration, kid. But there's more to life than just that. I hope you can forgive me." Izuku looked down with shame. He understood that All Might's just trying to protect him. But even so, what he said still hurts. And this is when Izuku is starting to walk away, starting to walk home, but this is when he gets grabbed. And Izuku's like looking up, and he sees this one dude with black hair. And not only that, he has a weird nose, red eyes, and he doesn't look like he sleeps a lot. He just basically just starts running at high speeds after well, after going around getting what is it called? Vertigo? Or better known as freaking headaches and dizziness due to the whole freaking being carried and just like spun around too many times. Yeah, Izuku is meeting Stain for the first time ever. And it's at first it's not really looking good. He basically is having a headache and almost threw up. And Stain drops him, and Izuku says, "Ow, that hurts." Looking up, saying, "Oh dear." He has a sword. He looks menacing. He has bandages on him. Looks like he has tactical gear. And this is when Stain just says, "Hey, was that guy All Might just now?" And Izuku looks at him and says, All Might? Uh, yep, he's All Might, alright. But how? How is that All Might? All Might's powerful. How did he become like that?" Izuku says, "Well, sir, I I don't know how to say this, but he got injured a long time ago, and he's not able to use his abilities all the time. He can only do it for a certain amount of time before everything that he's doing is completely gone." And this is when Stain just says, "Oh, I see. I don't know what to say. By the way, kid, I overheard you talking with All Might, and I decided if he needs somebody to train, I might as well train you. You could possibly be a good sidekick." "A sidekick? But wait a minute, I forgot. Who are you? Why did you, grab me?" And Izuku just hears Stain says, "Oh, sorry about that. My name is Stain. I'm not willing to give you my name just yet. But let's just say I'm gonna train you from the ground up. None of this sissy attitude you're giving me. And Izuku just looks at himself and says, "Sissy attitude? I can't control that." Stang just says, "Ah, yes. Excuses. It doesn't matter whether you're weak or not. If you start training a lot, then you'll start becoming stronger. I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna have a fun time with me. No breaks, no freaking going easy on you. A lot of punishment." This is when he says, "Well, why did you pick me? I still don't get it. Just because All Might told me no, shouldn't that mean, you know, you wouldn't train me?" And this is when he says, "All Might would give you, give you the time of day if you actually trained. But seeing as if you never actually lift a handlebar in your life, and looking how scrawny you are, I'd say that you're just right now pathetic. You're more, the dirt on my feet are worth more than your existence. Existence. Existent? Existence. Ah, sheesh. It's more worth than your existence. Now, right now, right here and there, give me 20. And this is when Izuku just, well, begrudgingly just decides to do the push-ups. And he says, "Faster, damn it." And Izuku says, "Come on now, I'm not strong enough." All I hear is talking. I don't hear working. And Izuku just says, "This sucks. I don't want to do this anymore." And he says, "With that kind of attitude, how are you going to become a hero of UA?" And this is when Izuku just realizes that he is having a point there. He won't become a hero unless he actually trains. So, Izuku is going to have to train himself even harder. Well, either way, Stain is actually going to do it. Either way, Stain is actually going to train him regardless. So, right now, he's starting to train. From day one, all the way to from day one to the 10th month. Izuku's going to go through a rigorous training. And after all this time, Izuku forgot the one thing. Which you would think that Izuku would, remember. Izuku actually forgot about telling his mother, Inko. And this is when Izuku, in the eighth month, just basically, well, he's actually even more better at doing what he's done. You see, when the first month, Stain actually gave him 20-pound weights to just put on his back and his arms and his legs. This is when Izuku just says, "All right, I feel strong." And this is when Stain just says, "Huh, you think you're actually gonna train with those?" "Yes, you are, but we're gonna make this thing heavier over the next couple of months. So every month I'm gonna make this 20 pounds heavier. So for now, you only got a set of 20. And Izuku gets into his fighting stance, since he's only knowing just a couple. This is when Stain says this kind of style is not known all around the world. It's more of it's called the adaptation style. Basically, you adapt to a lot of things around the place, and not only that, your fighting is more of dodging and acrobatics, making it to where you can actually fight your opponents without them knowing what your next move is gonna be. You understand? I'm not here to make you all happy. I'm here to make you stronger and better. And in the future, maybe one day, you too could run around the place and actually start creating a better society." And Izuku says, "Well, I'll do the very best I can." And this is when Stain gives him a smile and says, "Best? You're gonna have to do your best whether you like it or not. Because this isn't just about being a hero. This is your survival on the line. Izuku turns pale after hearing that. He says, "What are you talking about?" And Izuku just gets is about to get slashed. Was about to get cut open if Izuku didn't dodge that, and says, "Sir, are you insane?" Stain says, "There's no such thing as fighting in the battlefield and giving your opponents the heads up. Only amateurs do that, and either that or people that fight too rough, like All Might. That's something I can tell you right now. He can only pull off because he's actually strong enough and fast enough to pull it off." And this is when Izuku says, "All right, I have to keep training." And this is when these two start training for the 10 months. Well, for 8 months, Izuku has been going around this, and let's see. He has, by the 8th month, 20, 40, like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 110, 120, 140, 180, 60. He's supposed to get 200 pounds after this, but for now, Izuku's actually better at doing all this. Now, the thing is that, 20 pounds. That's easy. That's chump change. But what you're not understanding is what I said before. He's not just training his body. He has it on his arms and his legs. So if you count that, if he had 100, he would technically have 500. He's actually carrying 3 times his body weight. I think it's 3 times. Anywho, Izuku by month 8 is actually so freaking stressed that his body needs to go through this whole sleeping process. And because he's always being trained in and day out, he only gets 4 hours of sleep. So Izuku's eyes look more baggied, and his body has scars and scratches on it. This is due to all the cutting that Stain almost gets on him. And these two have been training to where Izuku's mentality is even different. He's no longer the fun, happy-go-lucky, cheerful person. Izuku is more of a, more like Bakugo, but more, he's like Bakugo level, like, attitude with Todoroki's solitude. Now, this is, after that, Izuku's scouring the city to see whether there's any villains to be fighting alone. And Izuku sees this one villain actually messing with this one girl. And Izuku overhears that the guy's trying to rob her for her money. The girl just uses freaking acid on him, but the guy quickly dodges it and uses his lightning to basically shock her, causing her to fall onto her knees because they're, all, what's the word? Come on now, Ivan. You got this. You got this, Fallout. Oh, okay. Her knees are all wobbly. So Izuku just jumps straight down and basically grabs the guy and just slams him onto the ground. And this is when the guy just gets up after feeling the pain. And this is when Izuku just stands in front of her, and he says, "Are you okay?" And Mina just looks at her because, yeah, this girl is named Mina. And he says, "Are you okay?" Yes, I'm just, little a little tired. My body hurts a little bit. And Izuku just throws his kunai at the guy's hand, causing it to he throws the kunai at the guy's hand, leaving a hole in there. And Izuku just grabs his Kadachi just basically a small sword or dagger if you guys prefer it, and just starts running up to him and then just stabbing him on the stomach, and basically cutting it to where his guts are on the floor. Izuku after that just punches him square in the head, and the guy's basically knocked out cold until he loses all of his blood. And this is when Izuku just walks up to her and gives her some money. Mina, in Mina's point of view, she saw this guy who basically was about to use his electricity on him, and Izuku just is kind enough to give her some money. And he says, "Don't walk around the streets alone at night. It's a good way for people to mess with you. Anyway, you should be on your way." And basically looks up in the air and just jumps up as high as he could. After that, he scales the walls and just disappears. And the whole thing is, Mina didn't even see him move at all. All she just saw was Izuku. What is the word? It almost looked like he teleported. He was just that fast. Now, after that, Izuku spends the next 2 months, 2 months with his training, because he's starting to kill villains every now and then. So Izuku goes through all the rigorous training and staying looking at him, saying, "You are gonna be the best of the best. I can tell you right now, you're gonna be so good that that All Might would be proud of you." And Izuku says, "Why don't you talk about other heroes?" And this is when Stain just finally lets it out, saying, "I have this ideology that the hero society is kind of fake. It's no longer the way it was when I was younger. See, there was people that actually gave a damn about us, the weak ones." And Izuku says, "It's hard to imagine you looking weak." "Yes, I know. I was a weakling like you, probably even scrawnier. But I decided that the heroes will help us. And as I got older, I thought, man, this world isn't so bad. But at the same time, as heroes age, they go on and leave it to the other generations. And the generation right now, their heroes are no longer honorable. They do everything as if it was for fame and for fortune. Look at them. All they get is status, and they don't even go around the streets and saving people all the time. They have a lot of their littler known heroes helping them out." And Izuku says, "Wait, what? So how are they known?" And Izuku just hears him say, there's these business cards. And technically, they're not business cards. They're people that give the business a good name. And it's called the hero agencies. Have you heard of that before?" "Yeah, I heard of it before." "Well, during the time when I was young, they decided to give these hero agencies to the heroes, not to the people that needed those heroes. See, there's a man named Endeavor. He sends out his cronies a lot of times, or when it becomes serious, he does it himself. But I always wondered if All Might could do it all. If he could do it, why can't the others? Some people nowadays are just rich and bored of being famous, and they just let it go. They let other people do their dirty work when they should be the ones who do their job. In the end, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be the one that stops them all." I believe All Might's the only selfless hero who would risk his life. And if you told me before, he can't use his quirk all the time either. Which means that he's been selfless to the point where even when he should have quit, he never did. And that's the hero society that I wanted. The people to be selfless and to take care of others. Because they needed help. But where were the other heroes? They never gave a damn. Now it's our turn to make the hero society right. But I think it's time for us to start training again. So, are you ready? And Izuku says, you never told me you're ready. And he says, yeah, but I guess it's time that I go a little easy on you. I know that I shouldn't have. But look at you now. From a scrawny kid to somebody who can handle even my attacks. Heck, I wish I could have done this when I was your age. I didn't think about doing this until I became 20. So training your body was perfect enough. Give me a second here as I drink some water. Little known fact, water is one of the few elements that can actually possibly cut at high speeds metal. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that, but if you get some wood, it won't cut metal as well unless you use it at high speeds, like I said. But water is one of the few things that can just shoot out like a jet stream and cut metal, which is fun. Well, not fun because I never done it, but you know, it's sciencey stuff. But anyway, Izuku and Stain just go about their next 2 months, and when that happens, Izuku looks around and he finds his mother, and his mother is looking always kept putting posters up. And Izuku did remember about that. So he kind of forgot. He was so into the whole training thing and becoming a hero that he literally forgot about that, which he had this weird sense of tunnel vision. Believe me, as weird as that sounds, I believe Izuku's capable of handling that because I did it before where I forgot like a certain person even when I was in high school for like several months without even looking at them, and I barely just remembered that this person was my friend, which made me feel guilty because I thought to myself, I am a terrible person. But we're still friends up to this day. Oh gosh, he gave me an earful at one point. So yeah. Anyway, Izuku now is known as the villain killer. Now a lot of people have seen Izuku, and he doesn't particularly wear this. He wears it mostly, but he has like more black on him. He has like fingerless gloves, and not only that, his oh no, he usually has a face mask on him as well. But after training, he decided not to use it, saying not a lot of people know who he is besides his green fluffy hair. Now, Izuku goes, and a couple of weeks go by after the 10 months have passed, and he's basically killed over 300 villains. Now, most of them were just petty people, like armed robbery and stuff. That wasn't an issue. He literally just knocked them out and took care of their weapons and just usually went about his day. But the other the other things he's done, well, it's Sorry about that. I'm getting a little tired. The other people are actual killers, gang members, thugs, drug lords, even members of the Yakuza. Yakuza actually got slaughtered by Deku's, mischievousness. And Stain basically takes care of the heroes that do bad, like the ones that take advantage of the innocent. These two teamed up were called the Peacemakers, and Izuku is just known as the villain killer, and Stain is known as the hero killer. But for this one, Izuku found out that there's some villains that are planning something in UA, and Izuku says, UA, that sounds interesting. And he says that there's a gym around there that is gonna go down, and this is when Izuku just says, all right, might as well count me in, and just basically falls onto the ground, cutting the light and just starting to butcher a lot of them, making it to where Izuku just grabs one by his mouth and basically just stab him in the back and stab him a couple of times and throwing a couple of shuriken at one of the guys and causing it to electrocute him, and Izuku just chops off his head. And this is when a lot of the others are just getting confused because they can't see a thing. Well, all they could see is Izuku's bloodlust. They can't see it, but it's almost as if they can sense the bloodlust and where it's coming from. And after that, the other two members that were about to run away, they just got a kunai in the skull. And Izuku is just walking out of there saying, well, I guess it's time for me to actually do something about it. Asking if Mr. Stain could do anything or help him out. Let's see. Stain saying no, that he has to do his thing. His job is to kill villains, not to kill heroes. And Izuku is wondering what is he gonna do. And he just goes off and starts to get ready to actually fight the villains. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Hopefully you guys like this, and if you guys heard me say it once, you guys hear me say it many, many times. Like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout. If you're here, bye.